they've done to Star Wars. A wretched rebirth. Tolkien's rolling in his grave as they destroy Middle-earth. I was filled with grief. It was time to make a stand. The social justice story thieves have forced my hand. So I had to ride to fight the hacks. I'm letting all of my rage out. I'm StoryMan-Jack.
Welcome back to StoryMan-Jack, and thank you for joining me for this story. Normally I don't do an intro like this, but this is going to be a spec story. And what I mean by that is that it's not a complete idea. It's something I've been working on, an idea that I'd like some feedback on if you would. As always, please, if you're not subscribed, do so. And if you are, please like and share this out. It does really help me grow the channel. So, without further ado, here's our story. I hope you enjoy it. I am Jack Dunkle, a spec story by StoryMan-Jack. The underground garage was all but empty. Only a few cars were scattered here and there. But at 3 a.m. in downtown bumfuck Egypt, I really didn't expect much activity. In fact, I counted on it. It was a perfect place for a meet. A meet that, after it was over, would have never happened. Dunkle, a harsh whisper came out of the darkness. Over here, Senator, I told him as I puffed on the Dominican cigar. It wasn't as good as the last box of Cubans I'd gotten, but it would do. The older man came out of the darkness almost reluctantly, looking about him as if he were the main course on someone's menu. God damn it, Dunkle. Do you think you could be a little louder, maybe? He whispered harshly. As loud as I was talking, in fact, the idiot. Look, Senator, we're in small-town America, at an almost defunct mall. Everyone that lives in this place was in bed before midnight, I told him as I leaned up against my challenger. The senator, standing in his $5,000 blue suit, long wool coat, and hat, seeming to sag in relief. What do you want? I asked quite calmly. The man looked like he was hiding, pretending to be an operative. It was almost comical. I need your help. I've been told that you're a specialist, the senator questioned. I smirked. I specialize in quite a few things. I paused to puff on my cigar and give the nervous man room for exposition. He didn't take the opportunity and just stared at me. Fucking politicians never wanted to just come out and say anything. The silence loomed, and I waited. There's a woman, the senator stated. I laughed. Isn't there always a woman? This is serious. She has ties to China. He looked around in nervous anticipation as if he expected someone to jump from the shadows or put a bullet in his head. Senator Smallwell, everyone knows you've already been compromised. I was confused. The story was old. He'd already been taken by one spy. One who posed as a sex worker, in fact. The man's face turned red, though. I wasn't really sure if it was out of anger or embarrassment, but probably both. That one was a spy, yeah, but all I gave her was misinformation. I even made up documents and evidence to give them false trails. I leaned back and looked at the smoldering cigar in my hand. So you think? And what do you mean by that? He asked. I narrowed my eyes at him. You can't possibly be this stupid. They knew you were giving them bad info, you moron. That's why they hacked every account you have. Fortunately, We intercepted and changed everything they tried to get a hold of. Surprise and then anger flickered across the man's face. Do you know who I am? What I can do to you? I sighed. I've been on this job my entire life. There's literally nothing you can do that I don't have a counter for. But you won't do anything, no matter how much I insult you. How's that? He demanded. I pushed off the car and moved around to the driver's side, opening my door. The little chime sounded letting me know that the keys were in the ignition. Senator, you're like a babe in the woods waiting on the wolves to come and raise you for their own. I puffed on my cigar a couple of times. They won't do that. The wolves here, they're ravenous, and you're but a small snack, and probably a tasty one. Look, his arrogance deflated. I really need your help here. And I need a name, I snorted, puffing on the short stub that was left of my Dominican. Waiting, I dropped it and crushed it beneath the heel of my boot. Chuha Park, he said. I shook my head, got in my car and started it. I sat for a moment, ignoring him, before I rolled down the passenger window. I'll be in contact. How exactly? The senator asked. How does it matter? You'll know it's me. I paused, but never looked back at him. And Smallwell? Yeah? Stop sleeping with Chinese prostitutes, will ya? It makes the job that much more difficult. I rolled up the window and pulled away, leaving one of the most powerful men in government standing in the mall garage in a town that the man would never have visited on his own, not by choice at least. The drive to the airport was a long one. Meetings with toxic politicians aside, an operative, spy I guess, should never be pinned down. I disliked working with men like Smallwell, but the job was the job and I had an obligation to clean up messes like this. Not for the sake of corrupt officials or politicians and bureaucrats, but for the sake of national security. Hitting the speed dial on my steering wheel, I waited for the operator to pick up. Code in, a distorted voice asked. Sparrowhawk, I said. Redirecting, the voice said before the line went silent for a few minutes. Well, Jack? Anna Holmes, director of my division, asked. He's been sleeping with the Raven, I informed her. There was a long pause. What a fucking idiot, she remarked. Find her. I'll arrange a cleanup on this end. I'm assigning the Fox as your handler. Copy that, I grimaced and tapped the button on the wheel that hung up to my phone. It looked like I'd have to go into China. Fortunately, I already had an identity that would work just fine, one unknown to anyone but myself. The Fox being assigned was a complication, but ex-lovers always were a complication, and one that I'd handled in the past. She was a professional after all, and it just might help if I kept telling myself that. She wasn't crazy per se, but, she's a woman. I hope you enjoyed this short little story. It's only about 1,000 words right now, but I hope that I can expand upon it, come up with a good idea for the genre and see what we can do with it. Have a little fun. As I said, please leave comments, please leave criticisms, good or bad. I need all of them if I'm going to get better. And remember, as always, your life is your story. Make it a great one. Good day, and God bless.